What's up guys, this is Andrew at Night, and today I'm going to run you through my top 10 live wallpapers for Android 2014. We have got raining wallpapers, we've got colourful wallpapers, we've got a bit of matrix in there, so enjoy this video guys. Last video I realised I wasn't really in focus. I think the camera was focusing on the background rather than me. I'm hoping for this one I am in focus. So with all that being said, enjoy the video. The first wallpaper we're going to look at is 3D parallax wallpaper. I've shown this before in a couple of other videos. If you want to see a longer video on how I customise this, I'll put a link in the description. As you can see with this wallpaper, when you move it around it makes the icons look 3D because you've got the parallax effect in the background. There are some presets, but you can also select any image you want, which is the way I normally use it. I use wallpaper pretty much all the time, and as far as I can tell there's pretty much a negligible battery drain, which is a big plus for a live wallpaper. Next live wallpaper is called Anim GIF. This lets you set any GIF as your live wallpaper. As you can see here I've got one of the wonderful Greg Wallace. This isn't a live wallpaper I use all the time because generally GIFs aren't good enough quality to have in your background, although saying that, the quality on this GIF isn't too bad. I mainly just use it just to show what Android can do. One of my mates kept sending a picture of Greg Wallace as his wallpaper, so I decided I'll one-up him and set a GIF of Greg Wallace. He's got an iPhone, so obviously can't do it. But this is Anim GIF. The next live wallpaper is called Detalix. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. This gives you a big selection of, we'll call them shapes. These ones are shaped like owls, and every time you hit them, they break down, they sort of double themselves, and then when they get to a certain amount they start sort of re-assimilating. It's a really nice live wallpaper. I wish it wasn't quite so bright, but it does sort of wash out your icons. There are a whole bunch of themes you can use. For example, this one's called Funky Circles, and it's exactly the same thing except it uses circles. It's a really versatile live wallpaper and they're adding new themes all the time, so it's definitely worth coming back every week or so and checking it out. This next live wallpaper is a matrix live wallpaper, as you can tell. I like this one because the graphics are pretty decent. Some of them are kind of crappy on the Play Store, but this one also has this cool effect where you scroll and it spins around a lot, depending on how much you move your finger, so you can kind of throw it, which looks really pleasing. It doesn't slow the phone down like a lot of them do, and the whole rendering aspect seems to be pretty good. I also love the way the whole screen seems to be sort of lifting up as it scrolls down, which gives it sort of slightly more depth than some of the other wallpapers of the style. Next live wallpaper is Musi, which I've gone on and on about in a load of other videos. I'll put a link in the description below to my full review of this and my guide on how to customize it. What this does is it brings an image to your wallpaper like setting a normal wallpaper, but then when you double tap, it sharpens it up, so you can see that normally it's dimmed, the colour's slightly dimmed and it's slightly blurred. This makes all your icons and all your widgets sort of pop forward. So you can see with this calendar widget, this is pretty easy to read. If I double tap, you can see there it gets washed out, and as it fades out again, it suddenly becomes a lot easier to read. This is a really nice way to use wallpapers that are a bit more colourful or sort of more distracting, but they don't actually detract from using your phone. The next live wallpaper is called Nexus Revamped, and this is the Pro version. This is the sort of made famous by Nexus wallpaper. I believe it was on the Nexus 1. But I love this one because it lets you set images as the background. So here I've got an image that I've dimmed using Tholitis, and I'll put a link for Tholitis in the description below. But then you can set this over the top. You can also customize all the colors, which I really like. I like this sort of stock colorful one, and it just adds something to it that you don't really get with a lot of the other cloned versions of this live wallpaper. The next live wallpaper is called Paperland. This is the Pro version. As you can see here, there are a bunch of different themes, all of which have loads of objects that scroll across the screen. So for example, I'm going to choose one of my favourite ones, which is Silent Night or Silhouette. I'm going to go with Silhouette and then set it. As you can see, you get a really nice sort of cartoon quality, cartoon styled live wallpaper that scrolls. You can set it so that whatever the weather's doing outside will do in your live wallpaper, things like that. Really customizable. I'm not going to go through the whole thing in this video, but Paperland Pro, if you want to try it out, try out the free version. Along with the parallax wallpaper, I probably use this one the most, and it gets a lot of attention when I use it. It's a really good looking wallpaper. The next live wallpaper is Thunderstorm live wallpaper, and this is another one that I've talked about in at least 2 or 3 other videos, but I always come back to it because I absolutely love it. It gives you rain and storm on your home screen. I've got it set to minimalist mode, so you don't actually have any clouds. You've just got the rain coming down, and you've got the lightning bolts. I've also set it so the lightning bolts are different colours, and every time you tap the screen it summons a lightning bolt, which looks awesome. Again, really customizable, one of those wallpapers that you can use a lot and you can keep changing up a little bit and look a little bit different every day. This next live wallpaper is called Rain on Screen Free, and it's actually kind of simple compared to a lot of these other ones. As you can tell, I kind of like rainy wallpapers, and this one is literally just a window with rain running down the outside. So there's not really anything special going on, it just looks really pleasing. It's a little bit brighter than I'd like, but with certain setups and certain launches this looks really cool. There's also a paid version which lets you change the background, which I may have a look at, and if I do I'll be sure to either post on Google Plus or make a video about it. final wallpaper is called Wallpaper Store. Again, it's one of the ones which has loads of different themes within the same application. Most of these are free, but there are some that are paid. I'm going to go back and look at the themes I've already installed. And I'm going to set the Kodama one. This is from Princess Mononoke. I'm going to set it. And as you can see, it doesn't look particularly special, but I'm going to move the phone close to the camera. And as you can see, much like that parallax effect wallpaper, it has different layers that move at different times. The effect looks a lot more pronounced not through a camera, so don't be discouraged if you can hardly tell that it's happening through the camera. Here's another example. I think you can just about see it moving sort of in parallax behind the icons. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If there's any live wallpapers you'd like to see on this list, comment below and share them. If you haven't seen them before, please subscribe. Please also like this video if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace.